In part three of automating your job, I'm going to look at skills. Skills are like neural pathways in the brain. When we go to execute a skill, we know a series of steps that we need to do to get to an outcome. In most cases, skill is very deterministic. In the tasks that we do every day, there is domain specific knowledge, pre learned information that gets us from the intent to the outcome. So, the majority of things in your working day are very deterministic. And so, we need to marry determinism with the LLM or the intent to achieve a deterministic outcome. We know tools today that work that provide us with deterministic outcomes. We work in the Ansible business group. Whilst in this solution, I don't specifically use Ansible in that I use my own skills engine. I use a YAML based solution to define the workflow or the skills or the neural pathway that achieves us or provides the path from the intent to the outcome. Skills can be linked together to provide multiple pathways, which all lead to tools. The skills provide deterministic outcome in that all the steps are predefined and contain all of the business logic or the domain specific logic to complete that action. Um, each tool can have failures and retries. When something fails, it can get com committed to memory. A hook can cause the LLM to investigate the tool, possibly fix the tool, provide a fix, and re-execute the tool. Our skills, or my skills, are different from that of Claude's skills, which are mainly non-deterministic. Claude reads Markdown, interprets it, and comes up with possible solutions. Whereas the skills engine reads YAML, validates it as being valid, and executes it to completion. The context wrap problem is one of the primary reasons why skills are non-deterministic. It's not the only problem, but it does impact on the outcome of a Claude skill. As Claude interprets and tries to reason through and execute things to get to an outcome, it gradually pollutes the context with additional information, resulting in an unknown outcome. Ideally, if a skill is well defined and specific, it will have a clean, directed graph to the end result. And that's what I have tried to achieve with the skills engine. Interpretation and execution are two different things. When we want a skill, we want to complete an action, we want execution. We don't want interpretation. In the examples here, once again, Claude reads, interprets, and decides what to do, whereas our skills engine, the server executes the skill to completion through series of steps. In that, skills are learned neural networks with domain specific logic or business logic. We build in error handling and we orchestrate it. All of this information, the business logic, the error handling, and the tool orchestration are therefore abstracted. Claude doesn't have to waste time to determining what is your domain specific language, how is your network set up, how is your tool set up, how is the Kubernetes thing set up, how is your testing things out. It doesn't have to waste time trying to figure these things out, figure out how it's supposed to do them. We abstract all of this information and we just give Claude using the intent to execute a skill and let the skills engine take over and run to completion. Another way of looking at Claude's execution environment is like this. You've got progressive loading where it has the metadata, it then loads the skills and then runs the resources to completion, reading in a non-deterministic output through generic tools. In our setup, we load YAML, we validate the YAML, we execute the YAML. There might be Jinja 2 templates in there that need to be transposed. And then if everything checks out, it then gets executed and the output gets sent back to the system. And if there's an error in any of the things, we can execute healing on them through a healing system. We use decorators in the MCP modules as well as hooks in the YAML to allow the LLM to take over execution and re-execute the specific step within the YAML and therefore continuing the process to completion. This is somewhat different to Ansible in that when you execute uh, an Ansible playbook, it just runs to completion. If it errors, it just errors to the console and that's it. In this system, we allow a hook to allow the LLM to take over the process again and to continue through the system until it is completed. So that completes the third part of our deterministic outcome. So we provided a second layer of firewall between Claude and the end output. Tools is our first firewall. It controls atomic output and firewalls Claude from running arbitrary commands on the system. And we capture our domain specific knowledge, all our logic, all our skills, all our business information, all the things we repeat every day in predefined skills within the system. I have many skills here on the system, including CVE fixes, PR checks, Concur reporting. I have Jira. I have Notify Team. I have lots of different skills here that interact with all parts of my day-to-day business.